Owning a dog is pretty cool. Not only are dogs some of the most loyal pets you'll ever find, it's just something about their presence that can cheer you up, even on the darkest of days. But with great coolness comes great responsibility. No matter how much you love your dog, it's not always a walk in the park, and you're bound to mess up here and there. From not taking them for enough vet visits, to neglecting their budget, and skipping exercise. In this video, we're taking you through 15 terrible mistakes dog owners make so that you can give your little pup the care it deserves. Number 15. No house rules. This one is for all the new first-time dog owners out there who bring their pet home and then just don't know what to do with it. You might think like you're doing a good thing by setting your dog free in your home, but here's the thing. Dogs like to follow rules. So, as soon as you decide to get a dog, sit down and set some rules. Where will your dog sleep? What rooms of the house will the dog not be allowed in? When will it be fed, walked, and exercised? All of these rules are important to lay down for the sake of your sanity and your pets. Number 14. Not enough vet visits. Sometimes we bring pets home and forget that they're just like humans. Their health is important too. A lot of dog owners make the mistake of not giving enough importance to regular vet visits if their dog appears to be perfectly healthy. Now, unlike humans, dogs really can't tell you if they don't feel okay. And the only way to make sure that they're healthy inside out is to take them for regular checkups at the vet in order to avoid any kind of health complications in the future. Number 13. No socialization. A lot of dog owners who adopt their pets try to protect their little pups from any kind of harm. And while that is super important, it's also important for your dog to be able to socialize with others instead of being locked up inside your house. Taking your dog out will also increase their resistance to germs and diseases while helping them get used to seeing other people and animals. Number 12. Not puppy-proofing. Bringing a new dog or a puppy into your house is a big deal. It's a big change not just for you, but also for the animal who might be exposed to all kinds of threats inside the house. There are tons of things that can go wrong this way. Your puppy might ingest some human food or medications, be at risk of electrocution from exposed cords, or even get poisoned because of certain houseplants. This means that there's a lot of research in puppy-proofing that a dog owner needs to do before bringing their pet into their homes. Number 11. Not budgeting. A really important thing to understand is that when you bring home a pet, you essentially are bringing a new family member home. Just like all the other people in your house, your dog will need food, medications, toys, a place to sleep, and of course, fun activities every now and then. This means that you're going to need to set aside an entire budget to account for all of these expenses. Not to mention the money that it costs for things like pet sitting or training classes in case you're not available. All of that, combined with the fact that there might be times when your pet will need emergency medical care, is reason enough for any dog owner to always set funds aside dedicated entirely to your dog's well-being. Number 10. Punishment versus reward. A very common training mistake that a lot of dog owners make is the fact that they put a lot of emphasis on punishing their dog for the smallest of mistakes, hoping that this will help their pet behave better. But as important as training is, it's also important for you as a pet owner to form an emotional connection with your dog so that it's not able to trust you. And that happens through positive reinforcement, which means that instead of only punishing your dog for its bad behavior, you need to start rewarding your little pup for all the times that they behave nicely. This not only helps your dog trust you, but you'll see that they also learn to do the right thing faster this way. Number 9. Thinking your dog will grow out of it. Most dog owners believe that their dogs will actually grow out of bad behaviors with age. And while this might be true in some cases, mostly your dog will not be able to differentiate between what it should and shouldn't be doing unless you set the boundary. Until and unless you start giving your dog a reason to stop behaving badly, there's a huge chance that they won't be able to do so on their own. If you let bad behavior get out of control, it'll be super hard to train your dog out of it in the future. Number 8, forgetting ID. Now, here's a thing that wouldn't cross most people's minds, but the truth is that dogs go missing every day. Sometimes they run out of the house and can't find their way back home, and other times they're even stolen. So, what to do in this case? The first thing that any dog owner needs to do is put an ID on their dog along with a collar. To go the extra mile, a smart thing to do would be to microchip the tag for an added layer of protection in case you are ever separated from your canine friend. Number 7, skipping exercise. Any responsible dog owner needs to know that dogs need the right amount of exercise and physical activity to stay healthy. In fact, when your dog doesn't engage in enough physical activity, it often causes not just health complications, but a lot of behavioral problems like aggression and frustration as well. If you see your dog looking bored, restless, and hyperactive, those are all the signs that you need to take your pet out for a good amount of exercise that will not only help them get rid of all that pent-up energy, but stimulate their minds too. Number 6, dogs and children. Dogs are children-friendly animals, but most people take that as a sign to leave their young kids all alone with their pets. This can be one of the biggest mistakes that you'll ever make. As friendly as they are, dogs still have their boundaries, and little children don't really know what they are. Kids might try and push their dog way too hard, resulting in aggressive behavior from the pet, even resulting in minor injuries. And no one wants that, right? Which is why you should never leave your kids alone with your dog in absence of any kind of adult supervision. Number 5, neglecting neutralization. A common misconception that a lot of people have is that if they spay their dogs, they will end up gaining a lot of weight and become too lazy to be healthy. But that's really not true at all. In fact, spaying your dog is one of the most important things you will ever do for their health. In male dogs, spaying lowers the chances of developing testicular cancer by a significant amount. And as far as female dogs go, spaying is absolutely necessary to avoid all kinds of uterine infections and breast tumors. On top of that, once neutered, your dog's behavior will improve, lowering your canine's aggressive tendencies. Number 4, forcing interaction. As important as it is for you to get your dog to socialize, remember that your pet will have their own preferences and moods. This means that you really cannot force them to play nice when they don't want to. And if you do, well, you'd better be ready for some serious conflict. This is why it's important to never force your dog to be around animals even after your pet displays signs of distress. Try and slowly help your dog familiarize itself with its surroundings instead of throwing your pet in a field full of strange humans and pups. Number 3, neglecting nutrition. Sometimes dogs have extremely particular nutrition needs that humans tend to look over. It's super important to remember that your dog won't always be okay with eating human food or kibble. Human foods tend to be higher in carbs than dogs can tolerate. So, while most fruits and veggies can be good for your dog, a lot of them are also absolute no-nos. Your dog's diet depends on its general health. Let's say your dog needs to lose some weight. In that case, you need to give your dog food that's rich in proteins and low in carbs. Similarly, vets prescribe a different kind of diet to dogs that struggle with their kidney function. So it's always important to feed your dog the kind of food that it needs, instead of putting together a meal that just looks good to you. Number 2, not handling hygiene. A lot of dog owners believe that sending their pup off to the groomers is all they need to do to take care of their hygiene. And while it's true that professional groomers are your best bet at making your dog look clean and healthy, as a pet owner, you also need to take on some responsibility in that department. Make sure to brush your dog's fur, clip their nails, and give them regular baths, not only to maintain their hygiene, but also to build a strong bond with them through the process. Number 1, not hiring a dog sitter. How hard can it be to take care of a dog while you're gone for a couple of days? Well, it's definitely harder than you might think, which is why investing in a proper, certified dog sitter is an important step that every dog owner needs to think about. While leaving your dog with a bunch of friends while they're away sounds easy, you can imagine all the things that can go wrong just because your friends don't know how to take care of your little pet. Friends and family can shower your dog with affection, but they probably won't know how to take care of it in case of emergency situations, and that's why it's important to always hire a professional dog sitter to take care of your dog whenever you are unable to. Alright, comment down below if you've ever made any of these mistakes with your dog, or if we've missed any. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to InfoLab, and we'll see you in the next one.